So yes, I think checklists are good because, and I'm sort of a bit of a checklist. I'm reading a lot about it. That's been part what generated that newsletter is reading more and more and doing more of that, because even though if it can take a little more time up front, it can save you more time afterwards. And what's interesting is there are a number of services, and I mean, I'll speak to it just because it's a tool available. We subscribe to something called GMI, and they have scorecards, governance scorecards, but also accounting scorecards. And it can be very mechanistic, and they rank it and decile it, and it's versus peers, and you can argue about who the peers are or whatever. But what I like about it is the same thing with the governance scorecard, or ISS will also do this, and the accounting scorecard is it forces us to sort of say, based on this random mechanistic thing that you may or may not agree, this is what it looks like. It looks like it's very aggressive accounting. And here's why. And there's a laundry list. And going into doing the work, or after you've done the work and you do this, you apply this, you go back and you say, how come that share dilution count seems to be awful high for the kind of business that it is? Are they being too generous with the options? Or on the accounting, well, it looks very aggressive relative to its peers, but their business model is different in this fundamental way. That's why their metrics look out of whack. So it's not really that it's aggressive, but it's more that it's an outlier, right? And you're always going to have outliers. So you need to understand if it's an outlier, why? Because that's where the opportunity can be and where the controversy can be. And again, with conviction, not that I like to get into holy wars with shorts, but shorts can do good work. And if you own something that's heavily shorted, you want to really understand why. Because if you have conviction on why it's worth going long, the short interest adds fuel and it's good. On the other hand, you could say, yeah, these shorts are right. I don't want to touch this with a 10-foot ball, right? So there are even sort of research products, I guess is what I'm saying, that sort of provide a checklist, and it's a nice support to just say, hey, this is what looks funny on them. So I like to use, for somebody who's very qualitative and very conceptual, I also like to really ground things in quantitative metrics, and I'm a data geek too, and I think you need both. Because if you just live in the realm of data, you need large numbers. You need to have a lot of positions. You can't run a concentrated portfolio, I think, in my opinion. And on the other hand, if it's all soft, loosey-goosey qualitative stuff, you're inevitably going to overpay for things. And because you could see that, hey, dream big, there's this huge opportunity and huge upside, but you have to make sure that you're, that your downside, you're not overpaying for that potentiality in today's, you have to discount that properly. So I think checklists are really helpful to go through everything that you need to go through.